why don't we talk about somebody else who seems to be finding their way in a
Mm,
different sense? Ameer Vann dropping a surprise EP, Emmanuel. Um,
yep.
Give us a little bit of background on Ameer, since you're the Brockhampton expert on this show.
Yeah, so Amir just dropped a 6-track, 16-minute EP. As you said, this is his first new music release since he was expelled from Brockhampton in May of 2018 following various emotional and sexual abuse charges from various women he had dated or known in the past. Um, and as we've talked about before with our discussions of Brockhampton's recent work, the fracturing that his departure from the group caused for the band definitely influenced the sound and lyrical content and overall, I think, attitude of the band on Iridescence and Ginger, the last two records, which we both reviewed. Check those out, youtube.com/nostalgia pod. But Amir has always kind of been the thing where we didn't know anything about him. Basically went dark on social media after this, and there hasn't been any criminal investigations or actual charges levied. And while Amir did deny any criminal wrongdoing, he did accept that he had been emotionally abusive and had not acted in the right way. And then recently, of course, with Ginger, Don McLennan on the song Dearly Departed lets out that apparently Amir had perhaps set up one of his friends to be robbed. And obviously we knew that there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes with Amir and the band, and it wasn't solely the allegations that separated them. But either way, now he's back with some new music. Notably, I stood out to me was this was released, check on Spotify, it says it's under Winston Wolf LLC. Winston Wolf, of course, is Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction. A fixer, makes things go away. This is not on RCA. So Amir, who was part of that RCA record deal Brockhampton signed, clearly as a solo act, is not part of that label, or thus that getting that money that way. But we have the music, and I mean, I always was going to check it out regardless. I think it's okay to listen to stuff like this, even if you have a problem with the artist. You know, it is complicated, though. I wouldn't begrudge anyone who decides they don't want to listen to it at all, given the charges that Amir's has levied against him. You know, so I mean, I feel you can take that either way. It's really up to you. There's I think, no shame either way. But Amir, was someone who I did enjoy on the Saturation trilogy with Brockhampton. He's the face of those albums, literally on the covers. But his natural talent as, I think, the best pure rapper of the group was pretty evident. He also had a dark, gruff voice and just a low register that was a nice contrast to a lot of his other bandmates. Now that we have him just being solo again, that darkness is certainly present, and obviously we know why. But what did you think of the actual music? Again, it's only 6 tracks. Pretty quick stuff, but I think there's a fair amount here, to be honest.
Yeah, it grabs you immediately, and it's a sparse, stripped down track. The title of the EP, Emmanuel, and it's just Amir talking about his emotional and psychological experience since everything's gone down. Talking about having suicidal thoughts, questioning every relationship in his life. And it's pretty much just him over this really almost like the Life of Pablo sounding thumping beat. It actually reminded me of the drums from Wolves a little bit. You know how like kind of like I'm gonna fix Wolves. Like you strip down the extra stuff, it's like dong dong dong. It was really captivating. And from there, I mean, it just kind of it kind of keeps that like thumpiness to it, but just kind of puts some more gloss over it. And I really thought most of these tracks were really good. I really can't pick one that I was like, that's not really a quality track. And I found myself more questioning, like the idea of like cancel culture with with this sort of thing. You know, I've been thinking about it a lot as a Patriots fan with Antonio Brown and all the allegations taken against him, and how it's a civil suit and not a legal suit and things like that. And or criminal suit, I should say.
Mhm.
And you know, it's problematic in a sense to back these people, but at the same time, when it's allegations and people make mistakes, but then they are human too. Like, where is that line of redemption, and when do we give people grace
Mhm.
and the opportunity to have redemption? It was kind of what I was left with after this album. The music I think is great. What did you like about the music, and then maybe give me some thoughts on cancel
Yeah,
culture?
yeah. So there is a bit of a barb at Brockhampton on here on Sunday night. He says a hit is supposed to stick up for their family, but we see they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on the track list on Los Angeles, what does he say about
Yeah.
losing his friends to LA?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
That
And
one seemed like the most Brockhampton niche shot of all of them.
right. And I think a lot of people have taken a little bit of an issue with, is Amir truly grappling with what he's done? Because I think more people would be open to him returning to music. Again, he's like a 22-year-old kid who hasn't actually been charged with anything.
Mm-hmm.
What does he deserve or not? Whatever that may be. If you own up, and again, he's owned up to a certain extent, but I don't know, blaming it on LA. I mean, I think a lot of people want to hear him just truly use a lot of I statements. Like, I did this was wrong, I'm sorry, all that. And maybe he doesn't fully get there on this, but what he does get there is he does show you what a dark place he found. And I think, kind of getting that curtain pulled back for a guy who already can get pretty grim with his bars. Uh, it's just kind of appealing music, man, because not a lot of people can be this introspective. So whether it satisfies people in terms of a comeback, I think it really depends on the person. But we'll be hearing for more of Amir, that's for sure, because this is definitely gonna, I think, turn some heads, and he'll probably start to collaborate with people as more time passes. So uh, I'm curious to see if we get any Brockhampton shots on the album. That I don't know if they would venture into that stuff on the next record, but the story ain't over.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch, and I hope Brockhampton doesn't engage with it, but um, I wouldn't put it past him, I guess I'll say.